Hello, my name is Dan Brenner, and I'm the superintendent of the Roslyn Public Schools. This year, when you vote on the school budget, you will also be asked to decide on a bond referendum. 3 questions often come to community members' minds when faced with a bond vote. The first is, why is there a need for construction? The second, what construction is actually going to be done? And the third is, how much is it going to cost me? The video that follows should answer all 3 of these questions. Now, I simply want to say thank you for the continued support you've offered to the school system and the children it serves. Without further ado, I take great pleasure in introducing Jordan Fishback, a student leader who will take you through the proposed projects.
Hi, my name is Jordan Fishback. I'm a senior at Roslyn High School and president of the student government, the OCC. I'm here in the high school cafeteria, which was renovated just a couple of years ago. It's a great space and students love it. It's air conditioned, there's Wi-Fi, it looks great. It's a huge improvement on what was here when I was a freshman. When students are here for lunch or during free periods, we can now use our time more productively, and that helps a lot with their schoolwork. Unfortunately, not all of the rooms in the district are like this. Many haven't been updated in a very long time. So the school district has a plan for the whole district that will include a lot of renovations. Some of the projects will be big and very visible, like fields and gyms and libraries. Others will be upgrades to things like electrical systems and roadways, things that are not as visible but just as important. In this video, I'd like to take a look around the district and show you what's being planned to make Roslyn schools safer, more up-to-date, and an even better place to learn and for students in the future.
Let's start right outside in front of the high school. The most urgent project in the entire plan is replacing the bus garage. When it was built in the 1940s, the bus garage was actually in the back of the original high school building, which dates in the 1920s. As the high school got bigger, the entrance was moved around the corner and the bus garage ended up in the front. Of course, no one would have planned it that way. As you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. The district has found another location for the garage, next to the facilities building off of Glen Cove Road. We'll take a look at that location later on. After the old garage is demolished, the whole parking lot in front of the high school will be redesigned. Parking has been a real problem in the high school campus for a very long time. Without the bus garage, we'll have a lot more parking and a much better way for cars and buses to get in and out every day. As part of this redesign, the front of the building will be changed too. This rendering is just one possibility of how it might look. One of the really important things that the Board of Education wants to address is security in each of the schools. The high school will have a much more secure entrance, with a better system for monitoring who is coming in and out of the school. Let's go back inside the high school to see some of the other changes that are planned for the building. The library will be expanded, using some of the unused space in the courtyard that it shares with the cafeteria. This expansion is about much more than making the library bigger. The concept is to create a high-tech space where many kinds of multimedia lessons and activities can take place. There's still an important role for the library to play in the internet age, but it has to be much more up-to-date than the library the school has now. Like all the new spaces proposed in the plan, the library will be air-conditioned and will have much better lighting. Air conditioning is also planned for the classrooms throughout the second floor of the building. As we move to the back of the building, we see the location of the last big change that the high school will see, a new gymnasium. This will be built in an open area near the administration building. Over the years, the Board of Education has had a lot of discussions about gyms and fields, which have always been in short supply in Roslyn. The new gym will be full-sized and will be a big plus not only for all of our high school teams, but also for the community groups that use the schools. Now let's go visit some of the other schools. Our first stop is right down Round Hill Road at the East Hills Elementary School. East Hills will get a new, more secure front entrance just like the other schools. New paving and new curbs are planned to replace all these old potholes. Inside, some of these old and kind of dark hallways and classrooms will get their first serious renovation in decades. Air conditioning will also be installed in the big spaces like the cafeteria and library and in the classrooms on the second floor. Like the libraries of the other schools, the one here at East Hills will get a high-tech update. Electrical capacity is an issue here, just like in all of the buildings, because of all the computers and other high-tech equipment that just didn't exist when the school was built in the 1950s.
Now we'll head down Locust Lane to the Roslyn Middle School. Of all the schools in the district, the Roslyn Middle School has had more renovation in recent times, with a major expansion completed about a dozen years ago. Less work will be done here than in any other school, but there are still some important improvements. The lighting in the cafeteria and the auxiliary gym, which has never been very good, will be upgraded. On the outside, work will be done on some of the paving and drainage, especially where there are issues around the front of the building. Outdoor lighting will be upgraded to make the school safer at night, and old fencing will also be replaced.
Let's now take a ride up Glen Cove Road and visit the Harbor Hill School. Even though Harbor Hill is the youngest of the district schools, it's more than 50 years old, and some things haven't really been updated since it was new. The front entrance and lobby area will be renovated to make it more secure, just like the other buildings. There will also be a major library renovation and upgrades to hallways and classrooms, along with flooring and lighting improvements. The biggest change on the inside of the building will be a new 2,400 square foot multi-purpose learning space at the end of this hallway. Unlike East Hills, the middle school, or the high school, Harbor Hill does not have an auditorium, so this new space can be used for many kinds of activities and presentations. The space will be air conditioned, as will the cafeteria, the library, and second floor classrooms. And all of the other infrastructure improvements that will be done district-wide will be taken care of here, such as upgrading the electric and fire alarm system, replacing old fences, and repaving parking areas. A major change will take place outside at Harbor Hill. The old tennis courts will be taken out and the entire field area in the back of the school will be completely redone. The new configuration of the fields will be designed to make better use of the space for phys ed and sports, as well as for the many other organizations that make use of our fields on a regular basis. Way in the back of Harbor Hill School is the district's maintenance building. This is where the new bus garage will be built in this mostly unused area behind the building. This is a location where the district already keeps its trucks and other maintenance equipment. Only routine maintenance of the buses will take place here. In response to community concerns, the district will make sure that buses won't be refueled or parked or even washed here. Buses will drive into the garage, get serviced, and drive out again. And all of this activity will take place during regular school days, never on weekends or holidays. Finally, let's take a ride over to the high school. It's the oldest building in the district, and it really hasn't changed much since long before today's seniors were students here. The plan calls for moving the main entrance to the Carlisle Place side of the building. The original entrance isn't handicapped accessible, so right now anyone who enters the building in the front can't even get to the elevator without climbing stairs. The new entrance will be on ground level and very close to the elevator. The principal's office will be rebuilt next to the entrance in the courtyard area on the other side of the breezeway. And a brand new library will be built here too, to replace the very small library on the lower level of the school. The old library will be even smaller when the notorious bump out in the gymnasium is removed to make the gym a lot safer for anyone taller than a first grader. The new construction for the main entrance and main office will also make the building much more secure. Because the architectural quality of the building is very important to the community, the new construction will be respectful of the historical nature of the school. The original facade on Willow Street won't be changed in any way. Heights will also see upgrades to some of its older corridors and classrooms. Air conditioning will be added on the second floor and in the new library.
Thanks for coming along for this overview of the changes proposed in the bond referendum. Even though I'll be graduating this year and won't personally benefit from these changes, it's important to me and my classmates that the Roslyn kids who are coming up after us have a learning environment that's at least as good, if not better, than the one we've had. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Joseph Dragone, the District Superintendent for Business, who will talk a bit about the financing for the bonds.
This is Joseph Dragone with a message for Roslyn taxpayers. We are proposing to do $41.3 million in capital improvements, but expect that the increase in the average homeowner's tax bill will be less than $60 per year. How? Here is the big picture. We have about $38.6 million in loans that are in the process of being paid off. In fact, by 2024, we will have paid off all of them. A large piece, $10.9 million, will be paid off by 2016. A very large piece, almost $24 million, will have been paid off by 2022. And the final piece, our energy performance contract for $3.8 million, paid off in 2024. We also have cash on hand in the form of revenue in the current budget of about $4 million and reserves of about $9.2 million that we have built up over the years. Using these funds to reduce the size of the new loan and receiving state aid of about $2.6 million actually reduces the amount to be paid by the taxpayers to $25.5 million. Considering only this portion of the budget, using our reserves to coincide with the years when we are paying down both our old loans and our new loans, results in an increase in the average homeowner's annual tax bill of less than $60. An average home in Roslyn, according to the Nassau County Assessor, has a market value of about $660,000. If your home is worth $1 million, 50% higher than the average home, then the impact to you will be $90, about 50% more. We look forward to meeting you in person and answering any questions you may have about our bond or our budget. Keep up to date by visiting our website, and don't forget to vote May 20th, 2014. Thank you.